Welcome back, everybody, to the Rookzer0 Drawcast. I've once again put the microphone in the wrong spot. I feel like that's just a general day thing we do. Let's click this button. We're back. Welcome back. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. We are hanging out in the Discord chat today. I am working on the Skull Commission again this week. I have a few edits I'm want to do with it. And yeah, that's about it. It's going to be great. It's going to be another weird week where we're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. The Wednesday and Friday show will be a bit early. Well, a bit early. It'll be 2.5 hours early. So we'll see how that goes. But aside from that, yeah, it's going to be a fun week. So this is an interesting time to show off what I'm doing because I'm basically going to dissect this image. Bri, welcome. Thank you. Got a nice morning tip there. I'm going to drink out of my rugby cup because it's awesome. Hey, hello. Welcome, Dippy. Welcome, Rick. I guess I need to start off with my exercises because that's the normal thing to do, right? Everybody get your stretches, get your energy going. I don't know if I want to do squats again today. I'm just now recovering from squats from last week. So I think we're going to go back to push-ups. Wow. Okay. All right. That was good. Good little jaunt. But here we go. So anyways, as I was saying, we're going to be dissecting this picture apart. I'm going to have to redraw some of it, and then we'll just put it back together. We'll see what happens. So color is going to go away first, I think, is the... Oh, boy. Really? Is that the... What do we got going on here? Now I got to remember what is actually happening. So that's our line art. Our line art with color on it, apparently. Huh. Oh, I see. I have a collapsed version. That's it. All right. Just gonna delete that as well. Color, we don't need. Black and white, we're back. Okay, we got it. We got this going on now. So, the issue, maybe we don't cut it. No, we can cut it. We want to get this V to be more prominent. I have a sneaking... I'm not cutting, I'm just drawing a line. Let's try that again. So I want to keep the horns. I want to keep the fire. The only thing I really need to cut out is the V here. We're just going to do this. V for Vendetta. Exactly. Dippy knows what's going on. Is this Asmodeus? Oh, Bombastus. I'm sorry. I didn't realize anyone else was in the call. That was... Sometimes I don't... Actually, that's pretty cool. It now looks kind of like a heart. I don't know if that's intentional, but we'll find out. I might have to get rid of the horns. I'm not sure. I think we're going to make the skull a little bigger, though. If this is the... two things I just realized. I'm going to cut that out. Let's hit escape. Okay. So if I do this... Oops, I just cloned it. Actually, that's okay. So we're going to cut it. And we're going to paste it on its own layer. Because it needs to maintain the symmetry line in the center. Oops, there we go. But I do want it to be a little bigger. I wonder if that's the best way to go about doing that. Because that's about all the space we have. Whoops. Come on. Come on. There we go. Do you think gods should have stats in D&D? And I say yes. Vitali, I would, yeah, I don't know why not. I mean, the world of D&D basically is constantly interacting with their deities. So I feel like they have to exist mechanically to do that. Because if you don't have... Yeah, something. I mean, one of the big issues I have with a lot of lazy writing is the... This is going to sound weird because we talk about a game with magic, but things that work by magic. So even if there is a deity in your universe, they should work by the rules of your universe. Does that make sense? Because whether or not they created those rules or can break those rules is important to the actual deity. But you still should be able to explain how they're doing it. You don't always have to explain how they're doing it, but you should be able to as a writer. I might have to get rid of these horns. There's a lot going on here. I think I generally just need more space is my issue. So let's go back to that. I do have these on 2 separate layers. Try to fill all the space and then it just doesn't work out. Let's shrink it down to that. Now we'll move this up. We'll grab this. Put that like down here somewhere. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that kind of branches to like cinematography and photography, and yeah, space is always a competition. Oh, competitor. That's not right either. Welcome, Ace. Welcome to the chat. Now my line weights are all screwed up too. Maybe the horns just need to go away. I think the horns need to go away for a little bit. Which is fine. I can always redraw horns. Whoops. Yeah. I think that's probably a good call. Making the horns a little more up. Probably fix some of my issues. So let's see what we got here. So let's put the skull back in. Because there is supposed to be a V. That's the big thing that we need. Like before Vendetta. Someone made that joke. It's good. And, yep. But it does need to be a V first, and then a skull. So let's make sure we get the V in here. Maybe I should even give this a little bit of... No, it is intentionally a skull. And I already did the push-ups for the skull for this one. I did those last week. And we had an argument about whether or not I should have had to because it was intentional. So I remember that. I remember last Monday. I remember. But yeah. How's everybody going? How's everybody going? How's everybody's weekend going? How did everybody's weekend go? Let's do that one. Let's go with that. That's a good sentence. Vitali says, I'd say the Dungeon Master doesn't have to use the stats. Interesting. Then why have the stats at all? I think the players in 1st and 2nd edition killing all the deities kind of made 5th edition possible. That's true, yeah. Yeah, killing deities in D&D. I think it's a thing that should be able to happen. But how you do it is kind of the important part because that's the story. That's the thing you gotta sell. How do you correctly kill a god? Well, it depends on the god. Depends on the story. And that's, I mean, that's, I guess that's really my issue. Like, every time someone asks, like, oh, could you do this in D&D? It's like, yes, if you, like, you can do anything you want. Like, that's the whole beauty of it. You can do anything you want. It's just a matter of writing it in a way that is entertaining and makes sense. Depends on the alignment of the weapon. Yeah. I think there's also the... it's like the level of scaling for your characters. The more, like, oh, they're level 20, they should be able to kill a deity. It's like, well, maybe. I mean, have you written it that way? Are you playing it that way? The stats are not the end-all, be-all in my mind. So, like, any character could have different stats at any given point if it makes sense for your game. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, the followers of that deity were probably going to be a whole army. So can your players kill an army? Maybe. Can you've created the crusade of... I don't know. I can't think of any good deities to think of right now. So, but yeah, that's. I think that's a good question. Does this look more like a V now with a skull on it? Maybe the skull shouldn't be touching it. I don't know. Deeper. You mean like this? Instead of this? Okay. Let's think about that. Okay. Sure. Let's try it. Maybe this should be more of the peak. Let's make this a little more rigid. Oh, I'm losing my triangles. That's all right. We'll come back to those. All right, we're merging. Let's do it. Oh, yeah, that looks way sexier. Outside eyes helps the design. All right. You fell off a bridge. What? Ah, Dragon Age, okay. I was gonna make a joke last week when we were talking about people playing old games, and I was like, man, I still have some friends that play Dragon Age Inquisition. I was like, you know, I probably do. Yeah. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. We are. Ace is over here just playing Origins. Like, I don't know, this is fine. Save the game, leave, walk away from the TV. Yeah. Yeah, Origins had an issue with texturing that was really bad. Like, they had the same walls everywhere, and it's just like, what? Did you guys forget to make more backgrounds? Yeah, I think Origins was a good game. Like, it had a really good core mechanics and play, and then their execution of the assets was just really, really bad because they rushed it. It worked. It wasn't super glitchy, which was nice. But yeah, they cut corners in the art department for that game. Yeah, so definitely one of those games that was worth worth playing, and I think a lot of people had a good time with it. But definitely had its issues. It did indeed spark a franchise. Okay, so we got the skull now. What can we do with the skull? I just like big skulls. That's what I like. V first, and then just slap a skull on it. That's what we're doing. I think we could probably make it a little bigger, put it up a little higher, so it still sticks out. I think that's good. And now we've once again filled the entire space, so that's, you know, not great. So we'll just shrink the whole thing again. Pull it back down to the middle here. Okay, now let's look at the horns. Let's look at the horns. I do like the fire. The skull on fire is a pretty great idea. I'm also trying to go back to like I can't think of it. I'm trying to go back to old school Marvel plasma space fluff instead of just like licking flames. But yeah, what kind of horns? I think goat horns are pretty great. But maybe we do need something that's more... Oh, I just made bunny ears. That's not what I want. That's not too bad. Now it's a tiefling skull. Devil goat horns. Which one's that? Like the Diablo style? Got it. Okay. Yeah, the Jacob. Gotcha. The four horned, the cross ones. Those are pretty cool. I also like the ones that grow into a circle. That one's pretty dope. I'm a big fan of those. This going. That sounds awful. Yes. Okay, I like this. I like where this is going. Let's do this. Let's get this a little thicker, and then we're gonna have like just flames coming out here. So we'll figure that out. That's good. Glad to find stuff you like on YouTube. That's a good way to have it. I have not seen Discord 6. Is that where people just sing on Discord? Oh boy. So, oh, gotcha. Is it like a bot that is reading the chat, or is it? Got it. Okay. Gotcha. I really liked Twitch Plays Pokemon. That was pretty solid. That was a cool idea. I don't know if people remember that. That was a while ago. Ooh, yeah, it's Omegle. Is that the thing? I don't remember what the hell it was. Yeah, I have seen that. That one's pretty good. Yep. There was... I think I've been watching a lot of the Honest videos, and I think Mark and Ethan went on there trying to find each other. Like, they just kept cycling to find each other, and they kept running into the same people. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't think that's something we'll ever do on this channel. But on the same note, yeah, definitely. Something else we can think about. I think I'm going to order some new stickers today, so that'll be fun. So if people have ideas for what stickers they want, let me know. Let's see if we can get stickers that people like. Oh, yeah? Okay. The Seal Merfolk was pretty good. An Otter Familiar. Okay. Would a shark familiar work for a seal, or would it eat them? Still. I do like to eat seals. I think you're right. I think sharks would definitely... You could definitely have a shark familiar. I think that might be a little problematic if you ever aren't in water. Versus... Oh, gotcha. Okay, I was thinking animal companion, so... Sharkhound puppy. Sharkhound. Oh, Sharkhound. Yeah, okay, got it. Really? What's the difference between a dog shark and a shark hound? Oh. Gotcha. Oh. I would, well, just remember, it takes time to do that. So, that's one thing. But, yeah. So, I would totally allow, like, a bullet. That, when you said shark hound, I was thinking of a bullet, and I don't know why I thought of that. A land shark, yeah. So it is, which is a bullet, except that it can swim in dirt. That's what I'm saying. Oh, a bullet? It is. Yeah. Well, yes, it shouldn't happen, but it does. The party of adventurers in the campaign for this design is for just defeat a green dragon and took its head. Make the skull look draconic with those horns. Yeah, we could definitely make the skull more draconic. I think we could do that. Let's see. To make this skull more draconic, I'm going to have to do this. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to make a dragon skull. Yeah, so when you said shark hound, I instantly thought of a bullet. That's all I was going for. Basically. Yep. Pretty great. Maybe that should be the next video, why you should play a bullet. I mean, yeah. Nice. That's pretty dope. I think the bathtub from the Nightmare Before Christmas is a very underutilized magical item. People need more bathtubs. I think it's like 3 or 4. It's not very high. Everything is scalable. Why don't people understand this? Let's see. How many bullets can a level 8 party fight? CR7. So there you go. You could just use the Pathfinder stats. Yeah, how many people are in your level 8 party? 5? 7? Oh, geez, you added more. Okay. I mean, yeah. It's more like Jurassic Park. Fire-breathing chickens is the way to go. Did I miss something that fire-breathing chickens is now in the lexicon of the universe? No, I mean, like, that's not... I don't want to belittle your idea because I love it. But, like, you're not the first person to suggest fire-breathing chickens to me as a thing. So... Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, where did that originally come? I guess the cockatrice had fire breath, didn't it? Okay, that might be what I was thinking of. I was trying to find the original dragon chickens. Yep. Perfect. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Nice. I'm glad you like it. That was pretty loud, but it's all right. Let's see if I can get this. I don't think so. I think you're all right. Here. Yeah. Yeah, Wizard did it. I still think Hammond is a great necromancer. That's all I got to say. Anyways, Rinsler, I think what happened is everyone else has turned everybody else down really quiet because everybody yells. And then yours is not turned down yet because you just started talking. So it is a little loud, though. It's loud. I'm going to turn it down real quick. Yeah. So I'm going to... It is Frankenweenie. That's a great movie. If you haven't seen Frankenweenie, check that out. Yeah. Do you want Dead Souls? Because this is how we get Dead Souls. If you don't just fall apart after you die. You say this, but I don't know where I'm looking. Voice chat. Let's check it out. What the hell is that? Is that a glitzed up Space Marine? Nice. I don't want to make my characters. Sorry, let me pause this burn that I totally just messed up. You're not willing to scale up an encounter for your party, but you're willing to make a Warhammer army. Those two things are on so different levels of complexity. Okay, you're not actually working on it. Got it. Showpiece. I get you. Let me show you my Warhammer collection. No, thank you. No, that's totally cool. I like checking out Warhammer figures. I think they actually are one of the reasons I got into D&D figures so much. Because I looked at them and I'm like, I'm not paying $80 for this crap. Yeah, exactly. And then the D&D ones are like $4. It's like, yeah. Do that. Yeah, glitter. A glitter monster? Yeah. I think they're... I think there is... I've seen a homebrew of that. There's a couple movies like that. Yeah. What's the space one? Toy Soldier, that's it. That was a good one. Chucky. Chucky falls into that. Woo. Yeah. You know, just military grade AI laying around. Yep. Oh, it's more than that, my friend. I'm going to guess. So let's take a look at this. We have one set of army. That's a $60 set. That's a $78 set. I don't know how much the big one on the right costs. Yeah, you're looking at like. I'm gonna guess that's like $400 worth of pink soldiers right there. Ooh. That's a good point. Good to know. Yeah, why not? What's your jam? I think Andreas is having an issue with the fact that someone did something that he doesn't like, and he doesn't understand why someone would do that. Because they like it. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. What if they just wanted a glitter army and they made it? That's a great reason to make a glitter army. Bravo. Oh, dingle. Nope. 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 I've never gotten a Warhammer set. I had one of my friends start getting into figure painting, and he came to my house and he's like, "Okay, cool, yeah, let me paint some of these because then I can get those out of the way for you." I'm like, "What?" he's like, you helped me paint some of my figures before, so I'll paint a couple of yours, and then that way you won't have as many to paint. I'm like, don't touch my stuff. I like painting them. I don't want you to speed paint my figures. Every time you paint one of my figures, I go buy another one of that so I can paint it later. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, this is the thing I like. I like painting them. Like, that's the whole point. He's like, you're crazy. I'm like, no, that's that. I don't know. Hell, give me yours. I'll paint yours. And he thinks it's such a chore to have to paint them. And I was like, no, I like it. Interesting. Not everybody's into the same thing, you know? That's okay. Yep. Forge is a pretty good site. I'm not a big fan of their models. I just don't like the style as much. I think they're really good quality. Like, they're great, and if you need a figure printed, it's a good place to go. Like, it's absolutely awesome to be able to make your own figures. I'm just not a big fan of their style. The heads are kind of cartoony. Yeah, it's got a Warcraft vibe to it. Yeah, and it's not bad. I'm like I said, I think it's a great product and it's a great option for people to make their own figures. Yeah. It does. It also helps with printing because it keeps the detail on there, which that's the challenge of the figures, and that's why like a lot of them were made with pewter for a long time. But yeah, so they're good. Have I been doing this like a sucker? It is really hard to pull that off. Okay, we're gonna do that. And then I'm going to cut this way. Yes, okay, that's what I want. I am using the symmetry tool for this because I want gotta make a summoning circle for my demon dragon. Yep. Okay, I don't like that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. Don't like that. I kind of like that square, but now I don't like it either. Dang it. Okay, let's go back to... Maybe the mandala is the better way to do it. That could be interesting. Let's try it. A mandala. Check it out. We're gonna go 5 because I'm trying to make a star. And then we're gonna go like this, make a new layer. It is, yeah. It's an Indian. Absolutely. All of those things have happened. It is a repeating circular pattern. So it repeats spherically. So here, I can show you, like, so there, I have 5 points. You can have different points, numbers of points on the mandala, but it repeats perfectly on 5 different axes. Yeah, they're pretty popular now. They've kind of hit the pop culture zone. Yeah. And partially, I think it's because they've now become so easy to recreate. These take a lot of skill to do by hand, but with Photoshop, you know, just do whatever the hell you want. Yeah. It also bogs down my computer, apparently. Oh, God. Yep, kaleidoscopes. That's another good way to look at it. I closed the YouTube chat. I'm sorry. What's going on over here? How are people doing? Vitaly, welcome. Welcome back. You made me click on your pink glitter space army, and it closed the YouTube chat. So everybody can blame Andreas for that. I will take no credit. Okay, we got our star. And we're going to go ahead and get this a little darker. We're going to get I want a circle, I think. Do I want a circle in each of these? No, I don't. I do want a secondary thinner circle, though. Oh, it's coming out wobbly because my computer's lagging. My hands are bad, apparently. Let's do that. Yeah, doing the mandalas is not good. Oh, are you talking about being shaky? No, I don't know. Yeah, I think you need to go to the doctor for that. It's scary. I don't know what that means. Yeah, that's a weird word. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't start using a ruler before. Yep, that's definitely going to help. Okay, here we go. Okay, I like that. Do I have... Welcome back. Andreas being weird. Okay, I totally just cheated. Oh. I didn't think about that. I did not think about that at all. I did a full circle, which made 5 circles, so that was cool. That was pretty cool. Don't like that either. Sorry, what talking to I don't understand. Why not? So this is a great conversation about language. But you are, yeah, you're just... No, actually, it's okay. Like, I like the explanation, and Dippy is cool. Andreas, stop antagonizing people. Here's the story about why I can't speak English. Yeah, well, you're doing it wrong. Well, it's just that, no, you're doing it wrong. You don't have to explain it. I'm just saying, like, the story's good, and then say, cool. That's true. Ice. Do like the clicks. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Clean on, yeah. Oh, that's funny. What about there? Kaplarg. Yep. So it's totally illegal. Okay. Alright, I think that's going good. I like those. Let's do a triple. I took Japanese class just to hang out with a chick. That was a very bad idea. A little bit. Not... oh, definitely did not learn any life skills from that class. Japanese. I took 3 years of Japanese. I took a year of Spanish, a year of French, which is really not my thing. Oops. Great. Interesting. I don't know if I like these extrusions. You know what I can do, though? Mathematical. All right, I don't know what that's from. So that is a split. If I want to do that, I want 4s. Stoichiometry? Stoichiometry is easy peasy. Oh, yeah? Trig is all about radians, my friend. Yeah, I've had that issue with math. They're just like, it's the sign, and it's like, what does that mean? It's like you have to explain that to me first. They're like, no, it's definitely interesting. I think it's right here. Yeah. Yep. Parabolic is the trajectories, arcs, gravitational fluctuations, things. It's cool. It's fun. But you also have the real mandala made of sand. Mandalas can be made of sand, absolutely. Let's get that. Art is temporary. Okay, let's do this. I'm digging that. Yep. I have some of those. That's great. I don't know what I've done here, but I don't like it. I don't like this. Let's turn this stuff off again. This is a weird symbol that I'm making. I'm gonna accidentally summon something on accident and just like destroy the universe here in a minute. Yeah, it's not great. I like this square. This, I lost the star. That's very true. Oh, now I've off. Symmetry off. Yep. Yep. That's how I do sometimes. Hey, it's all good. It's just time, right? Oh, dang it. That is so green. Okay. Whoops. Girl. Dingo did it. Dingo did it. I sat down and watched some of those this weekend. That was good. Man, I'm... It's not uncold. Or, yeah. Ah, so original. Is this a reference that I'm missing? Are we just repeating Dingo Doodle stuff now? Okay. Oh. Oh, lordy. Okay. Okay. That's kind of their jam. Okay, everybody's talking. Everybody's talking. Yeah, that's true. Dragons don't really have... Okay. Radium? No, mandala. But then you forget about it. Whoa, what just happened? You're an endangered species. I like to think of it more that the human race has some potential that the dragons want to cultivate. Yeah, right. So what we've discovered is bullet ants are basically like level 20 adventurers. That's what we've come. That's why dragons have lair actions. Like that. That's looking better. Because I like that idea. Yeah, I mean, the big thing is it depends on what you need to do for your universe. Because you could absolutely always just go the Tolkien route and say that all dragons are bored and nihilistic and don't give a crap. Well, the dragons are whatever the hell I want the dragons to be. That's the whole point. Okay. Yep. So I'm being splained at about how wrong I am about my ideas with dragons. So that's cool. Yeah. Anything. what the hell have I done here? Oh my god. Things have gone so off the rails. Oh There we go. I think my circle is off. This doesn't look bad, but I think my circle is off. No, that's good. We're going to stick with that. Nice. Share it. Okay, so I like where this is going. I like where this is going. What I usually do for dragons when I need them in my stories is I look at the book for inspiration, and then I do whatever the hell I want. Whatever makes sense. I don't like... I'm not a big fan of... Yeah. Once again... Oh, did I miss them? Are they in the art share? Nice. Yeah, those are pretty cute. What was I not? I'm not a big fan of a lot of stuff. No, I'm not a big fan of basically using dragons as a catch-all for big baddies. So yes, there is a faction of dragons that just hates humanity. Cool, I'm fine with that. D&D says that, it's great. I think dragons can have a nature, like how do I say this? There are two theories of thought for dragons. One, that they are instrumental in the universe, that they are a part of nature, and therefore they always follow their nature. Sorry, I said that word too many times. But so like, and I think Mercer did this for the Vox Machina campaign. Like, the dragons are kind of instrumental to how the universe works, and so they are a way. And it's not that people have assumed that, it's that dragons are that way and they exist. And that's why we think they are that way. Does that make sense? It's kind of complicated. Dragons are a force of nature and they are the way they are, period. And humanity is kind of like too small to really comprehend it. The other way to look at it is that dragons are part of nature, and just are creatures that live in the universe. I'm more into that, and I'm still into that dragons can be very powerful, very old, very connected to the kind of the ethereal plane that they're, or material plane. And I like the idea that they are maybe one of the oldest races, so they have the most understanding of magic, the most understanding of nature. But I don't think they need to be, and maybe a few people will get this, like Hulk levels of connected to everything. Does that make sense? So they're not forces of nature. They're just part of nature, and they're very powerful because they are so old. That's my idea with it. And so I think a lot of people are like, no, green dragons and chromatic dragons are this, and it's like, the ones in the book are. I don't think all are. I don't think that needs to be that way. Exactly. Yeah. Right. And so and that's splitting hairs and unnecessary. So my argument for what you're talking about, which is great, and I really agree with that, is that with anything that is in the D&D books, and the reason I always say it's a guide, which a lot of people agree with me on that, but the reason I always say it's a guide is because this is the sum knowledge of your players at the time. So green dragons are tricksy and like to lie a lot, and so that might be what your players think. That might not be the case with the green dragon you're dealing with. Does that make sense? Like that. So a good example is Volo's Guide. Volo's Guide is a good, like, this is the newest tome on dragons that exists right now. For all the world that Volo has seen, this is canonical. Volo probably hasn't seen everything. Cool. That's good. Yep. Stay on target. Stay on target. Okay, let's do this. I like this. Okay. Yeah, it's if we need to shift topics, that's a thing we can do, but we need to try to stay on topic too. So it's a thing we can all work on. Here. Uh-huh. Exactly, yeah. I think they want to write in the fact that, the book can change. The book can be wrong. Volo could be an idiot. We don't know. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with, like, Deckard Cain, because he just, like, he walks around the world writing everything down, and then he loses his books all over the place. It's like, you're not helping anybody, Deckard. Like, get your shit together. What was that guy from Harry Potter? Lockhart. Yeah. I would love to watch a Lockhart movie. I think that would be great. Yeah, exactly. Like, actually seeing all these mythical things happen in the wizarding world, and then him just, like, writing it down. That'd be great. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that kind of idea for Volo. Yeah. Yep. That's a good point. Yeah, how many of Volo's guides are real? How many months? Well, I mean, this is not like a publishing company, I don't think. Yeah. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. did it. Yeah, I think you do fine. Once again, I just have to reiterate that if you have a character that is high charisma and you yourself worry you're not high charisma, that's what the dice are for. It's just, I'm going to sing a song that makes everybody happy. Roll the dice. Roll the 3. It was a bad song. Did not help. Yeah. That I think goes back to the Mercer effect that people talk about. It's they expect this, like, oh, I'm a bard, so I have to play music and I have to be funny. It's like, no, you don't. Like, that's the, like, cream of the crop. Like, no one's gonna be as good as Matt Mercer, but you can, or Sam Riegel. Yeah, Sam Riegel in this case. So if you want to be a bard, you don't have to be Sam Riegel levels of charismatic. You can just roll the dice, because that's what it's for. And I've had a lot of people struggle with that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people look at the bard as just, oh, you have to seduce everything. It's like, no. Seducing as a player trope is lazy DMing, and oh yeah, I mean, that would be super fun. Is Dragonlance set in the Forgotten Realms, or is it's its own thing? Okay. Because I think it's canonical in the books, right? Gotcha. No? Okay. Let's just look it up. Oh, really? It's on a different world. Okay, Dragonlance is considered a shared world. So basically, same rules, same universes, different verses, I guess, different lore. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, I think the best way to look at it would be, spiritual successor or spiritual sisters, I guess, is a good way to look at it. Cool. That's cool. That was a lazy rune. I'm sorry. There we go. That's better. Just like, done. You guys have to wait 10 seconds for that joke, but that's fine. Cool. Yeah. Nope, that's the letter S. Nice. That's a good idea. Okay. Well, they're fake runes, because you're not supposed to make real runes, because that's bad form. First rule Odin laid down. If you don't know how to use the runes, don't do it. So I tend to not use real runes. I just make fake ones that I think look adequate. Jeez. I'm gonna make this a little deeper. I think that'll look a little... Man, RuneScape is... Yeah. Okay, how's that looking? What do people think? I think that's pretty dope. I think these need to change because they became... Actually, you know what? That would be pretty sweet. Let's do 3 orbs. I like this idea. Make these really dark. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I think we're going to sexify up these horns. Sexify. We're going to sexify these up. Make them look super sexy. Yep. I ain't got time to watch this stuff. Yep, that's what the algorithm is. It's AI. Algorithmic learning. Wow. Yeah, go for it. Making sickness is kind of fun. I don't do it very often. I probably should. I think I kind of like doing it, but I might like doing it because it's a little off the norm. Oh my god. What? Let's do that. That is actually I'm sorry, that was a terrible sentence. The want to add all those creatures or all those races is common. It's very common, and I think the trick to like a really good designer is being able to focus down those numbers to what makes sense for the scope, especially if you're writing a book or writing a play module, because yeah. Making new races is easy. Making good races is hard. It's difficult. That's where the time needs to be taking place. Gross, so there's a flood. Halo reference! Alright, moving on. But yeah, that sounds cool. I think there's a... Have I... How do I accidentally what? Say that again? How do you keep from... What was the question? I missed the last part. Oh, tormenting your players' characters. Don't be lazy. Take your time. That's... Yeah, I think... I mean, that's not a problem I've run into. I generally don't torment my players. Once again, I'm a DM that is very much there to try to make the game fun. So if a player comes to me and says, like, hey, you know what would be really cool is if my character did this. It's like, yeah, let me see if I can work that in. Because that's good. My point being, yeah, how do you not torment your players? You just don't. Like that's not a thing. You stop playing like you have to beat them and stop trying to be better than them. Blah, 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 blah. Let it be over emotionally. If that's what your players want, like that's fine. Or they don't want it to be. God, you should ask them about it. Yesterday, I finally got to DM again yesterday. I say that like I was excited to do it. Yesterday was stressful because this was right after the party kind of exploded. The previous thing that happened was we did this huge heist, and then one of the players kind of disengaged because she had her own thing, and then the other two players tried to kill each other. So so I sat down and I'm like, guys, I have 3 things planned, and go. Like, this is all you three. You three have to figure this crap out. And depending on what you choose and how to do it, I have 3 things that we can do. And that was it. And so I really let them basically just RP and yell at each other for about an hour. And it was fun. It was really good. It was on board. It worked out really well, and then we had a good session. So when you're saying like, oh, are they getting overly emotional, like they're arguing with each other, or is it just too intense? Just a little too intense? I mean, I would talk to him about it. Be like, hey, are we at a level that is okay? Because maybe that's it. And then if you're uncomfortable about it, tell them. Be like, hey, let's keep it down a little bit because it's stressing me out. Like, all of those things are viable. Yeah. Sure. Go for it. Yeah. That's a cool idea. Yeah. See, that's lazy DMing. Lazy DMing. Take your time. Take your time. Really, really, like, I'm a big advocate. This happened yesterday in our game as well, where we started like almost arguing and kind of getting confused. It's like, pause, figure out what you want to do. Take your time. Take 5 minutes, because everyone here is floundering because we're all unsure of what's going on. So like, stop. Take your time. And the DM definitely needs to be able to do that. If the DM has to say, okay, hang tight, let me think about this. Yeah, so definitely something to work on. And I think that's true for every game. Like, even if you don't think, like, oh, no, we're really smooth, there are always times where, it's okay to just pause and take a break. I got to mute whoever is. I got a lot of talk in the background here. What's going on? All right, I'm gonna mute that for a minute. But yeah, that's really the issue that I see happen most often, especially when people are either not used to DMing and playing games with each other, like they're new friends, or it's a new game. Everyone has a different pace, and it's really frustrating for some people. And some people just shouldn't play games with each other. But it really is like you have to be okay with, let's take a moment, let me figure out what my character needs to say. Because otherwise my reaction is going to be somebody gets killed or somebody dies. And that's, I think, a big reason why murder hobos parties happen, is because someone gets bored and they're not willing to let the time go. Yeah, write it out. Write out the happy moments. That's totally legit. Were they your friends? Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That sounds bad, like the people you're playing with now aren't your friends, but it is very much, if the people you're playing with you've known for a long time, it's a lot easier to kind of know what would spark that. Interesting. Let's do this. Let's do this. Lack of communication. Oh, hell yeah. Yep. Do you want to... Okay. Well, we've given you some ideas. I would try one of them. I would try a couple of those. How do you keep yourself? Interesting. Stop writing your NPCs as dicks. That might help a lot. So, okay, I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna reiterate what we've been talking about. So the question is, how do you keep from making your games go really dark? And part of that is how you write the world, how you write the characters. And we just got a huge breakthrough where you said you don't know how to make your NPCs not be dicks. That is something that you as a DM need to learn. So that could be either watching movies, watching TV shows, reading books, and finding characters that are not dicks and then emulating them. It could also be doing pre-game interactions. So you grab one player and be like, hey, I want you to talk with this NPC out of game. I just want you to I want to see how your character would interact with this, and try it. And I think a lot of people don't play test their D&D games. And the other thing I've done with that is I will play mini campaigns with one or two people as my NPCs. Like, hey, how would this NPC interact in this random situation? I want to see if this player works before I put them into the party. So when I said lazy DMing earlier, I didn't mean you don't plan anything, you don't do anything. DMing is a skill that is something that you have to spend time getting good at. And so that's bar, dungeons, goblins, done. That's not a good campaign. A good campaign would be, why are the goblins there? Why are you at this thing? Those are the things I think you can try to do to make. If you feel like your problem is all my NPCs are dicks, it's like there's a lot of ways to not do that anymore. Then it doesn't matter. Yeah. 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 I wrote 2 pages of stuff yesterday, and it didn't get used. And that's fine. It'll never get used, and it's gone now. Art is ethereal. It goes away. Yeah, I could. I mean, technically what I did was... the things I wrote still happened. It just didn't get said to the players, so I can always reiterate it. But that's the thing. Like, I know what's going on in my world. Whether or not my players see it happening, it's still happening. Same thing with the NPCs. Like, when you make an NPC, if it's not just like, I'm Johnny Buttkiss. Like, okay, I don't exist no more now. Like, that's... I don't have those players. Every time someone comes up with a character and like, oh, they're interacting with this person, I write that person down and I give them hopes and dreams, and then they just float away. Because they might come back. You don't know. So yeah, it really is just something that you get used to having to basically make a repository of how is this person going to act? How is this person going to be? Sure. But building that library of characters is great. Like Deckard Cain is in my brain somewhere, right? So if I ever need an old random guy, whether or not he's going to be a real character and I need him on the fly, great. You guys are talking to this guy named Beckard Yang, I guess. Like it works that way too. And then I have his attitude because I already have his narrative built. Like, it's Deckard Cain. Even though that's not who it is, that's who is in my head. Building those kind of things work really well. And you can kind of see that with Mercer again. He has a huge character library in his head, like just huge. And that comes from years and years of voice acting, I think. And D&D, yeah. So if you feel like all of your characters are dicks, it probably means you have a lot of really bad characters in your library. Try to fill that library with better characters. And that is very much... watching TV shows, reading books, talking to people, making new characters up on the fly, like trying to be just, weird and funny. Oh, God. You're public speaking right now. What the hell are you talking about? Okay. Well, so then once again, this feels like so this is a hard critique, and kittens, otters, puppies. Bry's on board. The hard critique is if you are having this problem, you need to invest more time in practicing this to be a better DM. Otherwise, that's it. That's what you have to do. Because if you can't do it on the spot, you have to prepare it. And that could be that you have a book full of NPCs that you've said, this is Karen. Karen is a human, and she is very, very happy all the time. This is Jimmy. Jimmy wants to be a baker, and he loves cooking, right? And so then when you play those characters, you just have to pound those into your mind and think, okay, Jimmy's like, oh boy, oh man, I love doing this stuff. Oh, you guys going on an adventure? Oh man, I'm gonna open my own shop someday. Like, just that's what improv is. And if you're not good at that, and you realize you're not good at that, you have to practice. That's all there is to it. Right, you can have that different viewpoint, but you are fulfilling a job. Okay. Then if that's how you feel, which I hope it's not, you can either A, practice and try to get better at it, or give up. Those are your options. Those are the two things, and it sucks, and that's kind of the thing. Because if you're not willing to put in the effort to change it, then you're kind of trapped. I just gave you like 10 options. Yeah, I think what Ace said was perfect. I mean, it's repetition. It's reading books. It's trying it with your friends. It's experimenting alone. It's writing down, preparing options for it. And like I said, it can be as simple as, oh, Deckard Cain, that's a good character. I should try to emulate that. So play a game you like. Find a character like, oh, you know, that's a character who I think is better. I'll write her down, him down, write down how they act. And then that starts going into your library in your head. It doesn't have to be a completely unique thing. It can be, you know, something from a book, something from a movie, something from one of your friends. I like emulating my friends. I think that one's pretty funny. Old grandmother reading stories to children at a public library. That's a cool character. Nope. No, I mean, that is a character, and that's just, it needs to be in your character library. That's what really makes a lot of DMs really good. When they seem like, oh, they can pull stuff out on the fly, they don't really pull it out on the fly. Like they have all these things already thought about, and that's what makes them not lazy DMs, because they have all this extra work and effort, and it's a time thing. It's the same thing with drawing. Like, I didn't just magically pull a skull out of my head. I mean, that's there, but I've drawn so many skulls, and I know like what skulls should look like, and I know proportions. That's where practice comes from repetition and understanding. Read books, watch movies, write things down. You have to. Sure, it's okay. Yeah. You nothing comes from nothing. Very few. Yeah. So you have to just sit down and focus on that. Like, okay, what characters can I find? I need to find characters. And then whatever medium you want to go through, I would suggest getting a notebook and writing down things that you think are interesting. You can sketch pictures for that. But if you're putting the time and effort into thinking about the characters and how they work, that's where that's going to start from. So like what Bry's doing here is Bry's writing down, oh, a character he just found. Old grandmother reading stories to a children in the library. That's an interesting character. Done. You know, think about that a little bit. How would she talk? How would the old grandmother act around children? How would the old grandmother act around adventurers? And then if it's like, oh, she'd probably pull out a sword and kill him. It's like, really? Like, that's the old grandmother in your head? Okay. See, but that's a badass grandma. That's another character. Badass grandmother, really good with a sword. Old grandmother reading books, maybe she'd pull out a wooden spoon and just whack somebody with it, right? She can still do the same things, but how would she do it? That's how you develop characters. That's character development. Little kid sitting in front of a local shop looking for someone to play cricket. Checkers. Play cricket with. Someone to play checkers with. I mean, Bry's doing it right now. He's just writing down sentences. Little kids, teenagers on bridge, fishing, met walking into new town. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can see, if you see someone on TV, just write it down and then spend some time thinking about it. Ask yourself questions. Yeah. Nope. There is dad and a little girl walking down the road with a teddy bear. Those two characters. Now you have to ask yourself all these questions. That's what you do. You need to ask questions of your NPCs before you just throw them in there. And I think Matt Colville talks about that in some pretty good videos, so you can check those out. It's the exact same thing. Yeah, if you're writing a book, This is how character development works. And that's why when a lot of people say, like, this character is very one-dimensional, it's because none of these questions are answered. It's literally just, what is this character? Oh, they love the main character. And that's it. That's the only thing they have. They're the one with the purple hair, and they go, woo, all the time, every time they see the main character. It's like, that's a boring character. Matt Coville does a really good job of talking about that. I would look that up. But a lot of the questions is, what are their motivations? Matt Coville. I will try to find that link for you. The first thing you need to ask is, who is this person? And that can be a very vague answer. So, old grandmother reading stories. She likes to read stories. The next thing you want to know is, what are their motivations? Why are they reading stories? What are they afraid of? Like, what would terrify them? And what do they want? So, what motivates them? What do they want? What are they afraid of? And why are they here? Those are kind of the four that I think you should know for every single NPC. Yep, that's a good one. Yeah, adding their alignment is a good quick thing, because then you should know. And that's, I think, really what the alignment chart was for, is more, if you're choosing a character that is this, yeah, exactly. Because really, I think, in my mind, a lot of old D&D was very much the DM making the characters and then going, do you want to be the barbarian or the wizard? And then the person takes the sheet, looks at it, says, okay, I'm a wizard. Oh, and I'm like, oh, I'm chaotic evil? How would I play that? That's really what I think the alignment chart is for, to guide you. Bright asked, why would you remember this character? What is special about this character? Why are they important? That is another good thing to think. I think the why are they important is a really good one, but that can also be why are they here. Those two are interchangeable. A lot of times, like, why is this person important? Oh, they're the town guard. If they weren't here, everyone would just be, getting messed up by the adventure party. But maybe. I mean, that's one thing about being like I said, not being a lazy DM is kind of getting as much stuff as you can in your head. And sometimes that's watching shows that you wouldn't normally watch, or reading short stories about something you wouldn't normally watch. Like, how would someone react if they did blah? Because if you don't have a reference, yeah, you're just going to come up with the same characters every time. Like, why is everybody in this town just a total jerk? I don't understand it. Like, well, I only got one person in my head, and apparently he's an asshole. So, yeah, a lot of my characters that I play are yep, apparently the live stream isn't real and you're all made up. So we'll talk about that at my my therapy session. Andreas isn't real and he can't hurt me. That's probably the case. But no. So I hope that made sense, because it's something that a lot of people do naturally and they don't think about, and then it's hard to explain. I know I just struggled with it, but at the same time, it's a lot. It's just like art. How do I get better at drawing robots? Well, you look at a lot of robots and you draw a lot of robots, and that's it. Draw a lot of squares. Who, what, when, where, why. Yeah, read Dr. Seuss and get new character sheets. That would be pretty funny, actually. Trying D&D with making character sheets with D&D characters. Wow, making D&D characters with Dr. Seuss. See, now that's well, I guess that's a one-dimensional character that drives me up the wall. Like, what is it? The kitty cat from Legos, the Lego movies, kitty cat unicorn. Yeah, Unikitty. It's just like, it's so tropey. So tropey. I'm just super happy, but actually I'm really dark and mad all the time. It's like, great. So you're Batman. Cool. Get it. Yeah. I actually really liked the... What was the main character's name? Not shoot. Yeah, right. Will Arnett makes a good Batman. I think I'm about done with this. I'm not sure if I need to add color. What do we think? Should there be color? I think this is pretty solid without it. I think some texture might be good. Back to work. Finish the 2-hour meeting. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I think I'll have to send it over to the send it over to the people. The thing, I can't talk right now. The client, thank you. Yeah, it is noon actually. We got real far talking about D&D stuff, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, it doesn't usually happen, right? No. It doesn't happen all that often. Hell, yesterday we talked about Halo for like 2.5 hours. Or I guess Friday. Brian, thank you. Oh man, I love those little rugbies. They're so good. I need to make a rugby sticker, don't I? Maybe I'll make I made the rugby keychains. I don't know if I need to do the stickers though. I was still adjusting everything, so I'm sorry about that. I don't... Oh, good God. Okay, everything's breaking. I'm going to save this real quick before it explodes. Nah. Uh-oh. There we go. Now it's catching up. Okay, let's save that. I'll delete that. Yeah, Metroidvanias are pretty solid. I think, what was the last good one? Oh man, Dead Cells was super good. Yeah, that was really cool. All right, it is noon o'clock. I got to go get some work done elsewhere. It is noon o'clock. I will check with the client, see what we want to do. I might finish this up off camera. I might finish it up on camera. We'll find out. But no stream tomorrow. I will be out and about. And then Wednesday we'll do the community suggestions, viewer suggestions, and then Friday we'll do the community draw again. And then next week might be back to normal. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Wednesday will be the viewer submission. So that'll be that. Thanks everybody for hanging out today. We had a bit of a tense episode where we yelled about stuff. Just good sometimes. We were yelling about stuff for an hour and a half. It was loud. It was loud and it was good. It was good information. So apparently not. But thanks again for hanging out. Make sure you're staying happy and healthy out there. Oh, I missed a spot. Hold on. Okay, there we go. We'll catch you again later this week. Keep your dice on the table, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out as long as we did. So, yeah.